Hey guys, it's Doug Firebaugh and welcome to Power Talks Scripts course. What an honor it is to be spending time with you today and being a partner in the process of your success in direct sales and direct marketing. You know, there are over 250 power scripts, phrases, questions, and all kinds of bullet points in this particular resource that's going to teach you literally how to talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime. And I encourage you not only to utilize the scripts, but also to take them out into the marketplace and literally let them do what they did for us, which produced a phenomenal business. And by the way, only your integrity and honesty is going to keep you from making copies of these CDs. We know you will do the right thing. Again, this is Doug Firebaugh, Power Talk Scripts course. Thank you, and God bless you. Hey guys, it's Doug Firebaugh and welcome to Power Talk Scripts course. And what an honor it is not only to be spending some time with you today, but more importantly, to be able to be a partner in the process of being able to help you move forward in your business. One of the most powerful things as a distributor that we did when I was active in the business is we had a Power Talk Scripts course, which we taught our distributors not only what to say, but also a ton of bullets, if you will, for their arsenal in their recruiting efforts, retailing efforts, and presentation efforts. And that is what this is. Obviously, it's a much updated version, but the Power Talk Scripts course can help you and will help you to create whatever you want in your communication style. Because understand, it's all about conversation. It's that simple. Everything we do in network marketing and direct sales is about conversation. So that's why that we came out with a Power Talk Scripts course. This is Power Talk 1, and there's going to be 2 more courses. There's going to be Power Talk 2, which is going to be about the presentation, the follow-up, and getting the decision. Power Talk 3 is simply going to be for the cold market, turning the cold market into a gold market. And from these 3 particular Power Talk Scripts courses, 1, 2, and 3, we're simply going to call it the Power Talk Super Course. Because we really believe that within the pages of what you're getting ready to read and upon these CDs, you're going to have some of the most powerful training that you've ever seen in your life. Why do I say that? Because it worked for us. It's that simple. This is not something that may work. This is something that is proven to work. The questions, the phrases, the psychology behind it, all of those things. And that is why that we're just honored to be a partner in the process with you creating something special in your direct marketing and direct sales business. Now, let me ask you a question. What are the secrets to maximizing the Power Talk Scripts course? Good question, because what you hold in your hand literally is something that can increase and maximize your business tremendously. But how do you use it? Well, let me give you some tips which we found really work well and more importantly can work for you. Number 1 is role play. What I encourage you to do is role play with someone you know who can help and encourage you in your efforts. Because understand, role playing is a must if you're serious about your success in this business. Find someone with whom you can practice with, rehearse with, and take these nuggets, if you will, and really truly get them as a part of your conversation. We call it practice, drill, and rehearse, PDR. You practice, you drill, rehearse before you ever go live. Because this is going to give you what we call artificial experience. So that when you do go live, you're going to find that everything you do goes pretty much just as you role played it. So in order to maximize the Power Talk Scripts course, number 1 is role play with someone you know who can help you and encourage you, whether it's your upline sponsor or anybody else. Number 2, pick only a few Power Talk scripts and master them. Understand, do not try and learn all that's in this manual. We don't want that. We want you to find some scripts, questions, phrases, some nuggets, if you will, that truly 100% will work for you. Read and study the entire manual. Find the scripts to which you have a strong connection to, and then master them. And see, once you've mastered a few and are good to go, then you can always go back and learn more. The object of Power Talk Scripts course is not to learn every script. It's to take a few which you really truly connect with and then master those, then go use them. Because the more that you do that, you can always go back and learn more. Number 3, no one script is going to work with everybody you talk to. That's just the way it is. See, there are some people who are simply not for this business. You must understand that. If you accept that and move on to someone else, your business is going to go a whole lot better. Do not be afraid to talk to people, but know some people are simply not who you want to do business with, to be perfectly blunt. You need to find the ones who want to do something more with their lives than simply just live a mediocre life. So understand, no one script will work with everybody that you talk with. And that is why that there's so many of them. You may say, and why do you have over 250 scripts for every imaginable situation you run up against when you approach people? Find the script that's going to work for you, and then even if you master it and you find that this script isn't working for some people you're talking with, it could be they're simply not for this business. All right, so number 1 is role play with someone you know who can help you and encourage you. Number 2, pick only a few Power Talk scripts and master them. Number 3, no one script will work with everybody you talk with. That is so true. Number 4, keep your eyes on the 5-year success path, not 5-week success path. One of the single biggest challenges in network marketing today is getting the person to understand this is not a sprint, but it's a marathon. You are building a business, not a lottery program. What you need to do is focus on finding a few good leaders and then build them. Because see, if you found only one strong leader a year, now get this, if you found only one strong leader a year, in 5 years, where would you be? You would have a strong, volume-producing organization that's strong as a brick. And that is why that you need to keep your eyes on the 5-year success path, not the 5-week success path. Because if you've got in your mind, I'm going to get rich in 5 weeks, odds are that's not going to happen. I'm not saying it couldn't, but odds are it's not going to happen. So keep your eyes on the 5-year success path, not the 5-week success path. Because understand, if you can create a business and be able to retire in 5 years if you build it right, then doesn't it make much more sense to be able to build a business that creates wealth versus frustration? And so many people come into this business that have totally unrealistic expectations. They expect so much to happen in so short a time that unfortunately it gets them out of this business because of frustration, discouragement, and they feel that they've been lied to. Don't go there. Use reality. Understand, it's the 5-year success path that you keep focused on will make the no's, rejection, and everything else seem so much easier. Number 5, look for leaders, not loafers. Look for leaders, not loafers. See, the secret to this business is leadership. As a network marketing entrepreneur, you need to make sure that you are focusing on what we call leadership development, period. Leadership development is singly the greatest secret in this business, because the more leaders that you develop, the more leaders that you multiply, the more leaders that you bring to the table, the more powerful your business is going to be. And see, when you're focused on leadership development as well as business development, you'll find it's not about social club development. Many people look at network marketing, direct sales as some kind of a club. Oh man, I have joined this great club. It's going to be awesome. Now, there's nothing wrong with that to understand about the social aspects of network marketing. But at the same time, understand leadership development is the secret. When you approach people, you need to approach people as a leader, and you need to let them know you're looking for a leader. Did you get that? You need to approach people as a leader, but at the same time, let them know you're looking for a leader. When you're talking to people and have a leadership focus, you will be taken more seriously. Do you realize that? They're going to hear something in your vocal cords. They're going to see something in your eyes. They're going to hear it in your words that this is more serious than the typical phone call about a direct sales opportunity or a network marketing business. Not only will you be taken more seriously, but when you focus looking for leaders and come from a leadership development standpoint, you will be seen as a much more professional individual. Because that's what top earners figured out. They figured it out that when you focus on leadership development, when you focus on coming across as a leader as well as looking for leaders, the seriousness that people will take your business is so much more. We don't understand why. All we know is that's the truth. So number 5 is look for leaders, not loafers, not people that's going to loaf on the job. You've got to convince to do this thing. What you want are people that will embrace it, that will engage it, that will totally 100% connect to it, and then go out and build it. That's what leaders do. Leaders lead, loafers loaf. So that's why that when you're going out and starting to use these scripts, use these questions, use these phrases, have a leadership focus, have a leadership attitude, and have a leadership power about you, you will find you'll get a much more different response than the average person who approaches somebody about a business. All right, number 6. Listen to those who have the success in their lives that you desire for your life. Do not listen to others who are where you currently are and want you to stay there. Let me repeat this one more time. Listen to those who have the success in their lives that you desire for your life. Do not listen to others who are where you currently are and want you to stay there with them. Guys, understand this. When you begin to approach people, your friends, your neighbors, people that you know, you may get some negative responses. You may get some totally 100% vile responses from people that don't understand what you're doing and think that you are going to make a huge mistake. That's all part of being an entrepreneur. Guys, it doesn't matter whether it's network marketing or direct sales or whether you're opening up a restaurant or anything else. Because what it is, it's a normal reaction for people to say, why are you doing this? Why are you starting your own business? Nobody in your family's ever done that before. Well, it's time somebody did. In a recent study, in Fortune magazine, they studied over 500 self-made millionaires whose net worth was at least $9.2 million. And that it amazed me. The single greatest obstacle, according to 9 out of 10 people that were surveyed of these millionaires, 9 out of 10 people said the greatest obstacle the first couple of years were friends and family. Did you get that? The greatest obstacle the first couple of years in their entrepreneurial venture were friends and family. Why does this happen? Why would even somebody that's trying just to build maybe a development company or a building company or maybe just a restaurant would go through the same thing that network marketers do? Well, many people are so stuck in their learned thinking patterns. Did you get that? There's so many people out there that are stuck in their learned thinking patterns that they're not open to new ideas and moving forward. That's just the way it is. I don't understand. That's just how God made it. Because people learn these patterns of thinking at a very young age, and the next thing you know, what happens is they get stuck in them and they don't consider any other possibility. And then when somebody else starts considering major possibilities for their life, they start getting negative because it goes against their philosophy, their thinking, and how they see their life. Plus, a lot of it has to do with fear because they're afraid that you're going to become successful and leave them behind. Understand this. The people that are stuck in their learned thinking patterns will come against you sometimes as negative. Understand this. You need to listen to those who are where you want to go in life. Listen to those who are where you want to go in life and have accomplished what you want to accomplish. Why would you do this? Because you can learn from the people that are already there. This Power Talk Scripts course has got some of the most powerful scripts you'll ever use and questions and all the things that go along with it. But it does no good if you're listening to negative people, if you're listening to minimizers, not maximizers. Minimizers are people who want your life to be minimal. Maximizers who want to help maximize your life and you become the best that you can be. So when you begin to approach people, you may get some negative responses. Understand that. That's all part of it. But don't buy into it. Because what you're doing is you're building a destiny of success, a destiny of incredible potential, and you're building a destiny of wealth somewhere down the road that literally can change your life forever. Because get this, if you do not think that way, if you buy into the negative quote unquote words that people come against you and start questioning whether you can do this, whether you're good enough, smart enough, or whether your direct marketing company is good enough, then that questions and that lack of faith is going to be heard in everything that you say. And by the way, number 7, repetition must be the key to mastery in Power Talk. Practice, drill, rehearse. Repeat the scripts over and over and over, and then some more, because mastery requires it and success demands it. So secrets to maximizing the Power Talk Scripts course. Number 1, role play with someone you know who can help and encourage you. Number 2, pick only a few Power Talk scripts and master those. Number 3, no one script will work with everybody you talk to. That's just the way it is. Number 4, keep your eyes on the 5-year success path, not the 5-week success plan. Number 5, look for leaders, not loafers. Number 6, listen to those who have success in their lives that you desire for your life. Do not listen to others who are where you currently are and want you to stay there. And number 7, repetition must be the key to mastery in Power Talk. You follow these secrets, and Power Talk will help explode your business in a way you never thought possible. All right, on this particular track, we're going to start covering the 7 power secrets to talking with people on the telephone or face-to-face. You know, one of the most powerful things you can do is create a powerful conversation with people, either on the phone or face-to-face, that they remember. And these are some of the strategies that not only work, but are a must-to-do with the Power Talk scripts. Now again, it does no good to have powerful questions, powerful phrases, powerful scripting if you're not creating the impact that you need. You know, you would be shocked. I'm shocked sometimes when I coach people at how unenergetic and how unanimated they are when they talk with people. This is something I urge you to do. I urge you right now, over the next 3, 5, 10 conversations, to record your voice. Get some kind of a recording device and record your voice, and even if you can't hear what the prospect is saying, you'll hear what you're saying. And because of that, ask yourself this question: is it where it needs to be? Is it as animated as it needs to be? Is it as energetic as it needs to be? Because that's number 1, is be animated and energetic. Because when you're on the telephone or talking with someone face to face, you need to be animated and you need to be energized. Understand this: what they're looking for is something that's going to give them hope. What they're looking for is something that's going to give them the power that's missing in their life. And when you're animated, you're up, you're energetic, what happens is they start feeling that. You've got to be animated, you've got to be energetic. But understand, I'm not talking hype. Hype comes from the head. I'm talking energy, which comes from the heart. Come from the heart in everything you say and let people feel what you say. Because you cannot come across with low energy and verbally boring. Use different tones and volumes on the phone. You know, speed up, slow down, get excited and back off. Keep it varied and a variety so that people then can feel what you say and you're not boring. Even face to face. Be energized with your words and body language, and do not be weird. You know, my wife has that saying, don't be weird. What does that mean? Just be who you are. Don't try to be somebody else. Even if your personality is not exactly where it needs to be, work on being the best that you can be. Just be excited and let the person feel it. Because the more excited, the more energized that they're going to feel from you, the more that they're going to respond back towards you with energy. So number 1 is be animated and energetic. Number 2, make the prospect the superstar of the conversation. Make the prospect the superstar of the conversation. Keep the focus on the prospect during the conversation. We all have a tendency to want to talk about ourselves. You know that. I know that. You are not the issue. The prospect is. The prospect is totally 100% the issue and the reason you are holding this conversation. Believing anything else is old school network marketing. You need to step up, guys, to power school network marketing and make the superstar of the conversation your prospect. What you want to do is you want to focus on their desires, what they want out of life. You want to focus on their family, and you want to focus on what they want to talk about. Make the prospect the superstar of your conversation. And understand something. The moment that they understand that you're truly interested in them, they're going to find you interesting. Did you get that? The more that they sense, the more that they feel, the more that they hear that you're truly interested in them, the more interesting they're going to find anything and everything that you say. That's just how it works. Because the moment that you move from making your products the superstar, making the business the superstar, and what your success or whatever it is, your upline success the superstar, you flip it around and make the prospect the superstar, the Power Talk Scripts course will be 10 times more effective. You heard me right. It'll be 10 times more effective. You'll have 10 times the amount of success, and you'll find that you're going to have a whole lot more people responding to you positively than negatively. And by the way, that's the only difference between a millionaire and the average person in direct marketing. The millionaire simply has had a whole lot more positive responses. And one of the most powerful things millionaires do in this particular industry is they make the prospect the superstar of the conversation, not themselves. All right, so number one is be animated and energetic. Number two, make the prospect the superstar of the conversation. Number three, hold a conversation, don't do a presentation. Hold a conversation, but don't do a presentation. See, many people make a huge mistake when they start talking to people about their business. All they do is they start dumping. What do you mean by that, Doug? Well, have you ever seen a dump truck that is in some type of construction area, and what it does, it has all of this dirt, and suddenly somebody holds a lever and the back goes up, and suddenly all that dirt comes down, and suddenly it's like in this huge pile. Many people do actually approaches like that. They don't hold a conversation with people. They do a presentation right from the very beginning. They dump everything they know on the prospect and totally turn them off. You don't do that. You don't want to dump a lot of facts and details on the prospects with a presentation. Understand this. You want to get them totally 100% comfortable with you before you do anything. And that is why that when you dump all this information on them, they literally are going to become overwhelmed and intimidated. What you want to do is you want to get them comfortable, and the single greatest way to get a person comfortable is to talk about them. Talk about what they're looking for. Talk about what they want. Talk about what is on their mind, not yours. Hold a conversation with them that would be normal and natural. Hold a conversation with them about what they want to talk about, maybe the news of the day, before you ever bring up your opportunity or business or product. Because many times people will start talking about their product or talking about their business. 15 minutes later, they're still talking. And what happened to the prospect? You've lost them 10 minutes ago. Do not dump facts, do not dump details of the prospect with a presentation. Simply hold a conversation like you have done thousands of times. Make the prospect feel comfortable. Make the prospect feel totally at ease. And do not come across like a salesperson. You know, some people say that, well, you've got to get in and you've got to sell them. You don't want to come across like a salesperson. You want to come across as a leader. Come across like a leader. Come across like a friend, and simply dispense the information you want during that conversation. You don't have to get into all the details of what's in your product or service or the technology behind the service. What you want to do is you want to focus on what they're looking for, and then show them how that your retail products and how your business can help benefit them and help them find what they're looking for. Because guys, that's all it is. That's all this business is about. Helping people find what they're looking for in life. You find out what your prospect is looking for, you show them how that you can help them get it, and you will become a millionaire in this business if you allow that to happen. So number one, be animated and energetic. Number two, make the prospect the superstar of the conversation. Number three, hold a conversation, not a presentation. Number four, get them involved. You want to get your prospect involved with questions and even getting them involved with maybe taking products from you or doing something like that. Ask a lot of questions. Why do you want to do that? Psychologically, it keeps them engaged. It keeps them engaged not only in the process of the conversation, but also keeps them connected to you. Get them involved about questions about what they're looking for. And by the way, you'll learn a ton of different questions in Power Talk Scripts course. What to ask, how to say it, all those things that will continually give you arsenal in your conversation gun. And by the way, do not dominate the conversation. You need to understand that you need to talk at least a third of the time, ask questions, and let the prospect talk the rest of the time. Don't dominate the conversation. Let the prospect do a lot of the talking by answering your questions and participating in the conversation. They need to dominate the conversation, not you. Because the more they are involved, the more they will evolve as a great prospect. Let me repeat that. The more that they are involved in the conversation, the more they will evolve as a great prospect for doing business with. Get them involved with questions, get them involved with actions, and keep them involved in some format by making sure that they're connected with the conversation and they're flowing right with you as you talk with them about your business. All right, number 5 is focus on value, not just volume. Focus on value, not just volume. Many folks, when they come into this industry, they go immediately into the volume zone. What is the volume zone? The volume zone is where they're focused on volume, they talk volume, that's all they want to see is volume. Why? Because they're looking for a paycheck. They want to create volume and somehow get their first paycheck, which is important, don't get me wrong. But let me ask you a question. If somebody's trying to do business with you and you know for a fact that they're more focused on volume than what you see as far as what you want out of life, what do you think you're going to think? I'll tell you what you're going to think. This person has got only their best interest at heart, not mine. You need to focus on the value that your products bring to the customer, and you need to definitely focus on the value that your business brings to their future. See, when you focus on volume, that is not the first focus you should ever have, but many people do. That is old school network marketing. Guys, it's time to move up to power school networking. You must go up into the value zone and leave the volume zone. Did you get that? The volume zone is only focused on what you can get out of the conversation. The value zone is showing the prospect the value of your products, the value of your business, and the value of your leadership. You need to focus on value because understand, nobody will ever do any business with you if they don't see value in what you're doing. I'll prove it to you. Would you buy a pair of shoes if you saw absolutely no value in them? Of course you wouldn't. Would you buy a suit or a dress or even a shirt if you saw absolutely no value in it? Of course you wouldn't. Would you buy a car? Would you buy a house? You're saying, of course I wouldn't. It would have to have a lot of value in order for me to exchange money. Well, it's the same thing here. If you're trying to do business with somebody, if you're trying to move your products and sell your products and trying to recruit somebody, they've got to see value in what you have to offer. The first focus should be what value the products and the business bring to the prospect's life and future. That should be your main focus. This is what is in it for you. This is how this is going to benefit you. And by the way, we teach value phrases in this scripts course. Value phrases are a powerful way to show people how valuable what you have to offer is. What's in it for the prospect? Focus on that and that only. Because value will always come before volume in the dictionary. Did you get that? Value will always come before volume in the dictionary. It'll always come before any success as well. Let me ask you a question. What value do your products bring to the prospect? Start listing them right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What value does your business bring to the prospect? List it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right there is your focus. You focus on what the value is to the prospect. You focus on what the value is to their family, to their future, to their income, to their health, to whatever else it is that you're marketing, and show them how valuable it is to work with you. See, that's another part of the value function. Don't focus on the volume that you're going to get. Focus on the value of the leadership that you bring to the table. Remember, I told you on the previous track, people will respond to you in a much more professional and positive fashion when they perceive leadership versus just building a distributorship. And part of value is what you bring to the table as a leader. That is why that when you focus on value and not just volume, you're also focusing on not only the value of the products, the value of the business, the value of your company, the value of your opportunity, but also the value of doing business with you, the value of you as a leader, the value of your leadership. So understand, focus on value, not just volume, because the more value they perceive, the more value that they feel, the more value that they understand you have to offer them, then just as all millionaires have found out, the more positive of a response that you're going to get from these Power Talk scripts that you're going to be using. All right, number 6 is be real, be relaxed, and be reassuring. That's called the 3 R's of Power Talk. Be real, be relaxed, but be also reassuring. Number 1 is be real. You know, when you come across as somebody other than who you are, people can sense it, people can smell it, people will know it. Why? Because when people aren't real, people's sensing, if you will, suddenly red flags start going up all over the place. I made that mistake when I first came into network marketing. Everybody said, you've got to be this person. You got to talk like this person. You got to dress like this person. So there was a lot of clones, if you will, of this particular person. I wasn't myself, and my business, unfortunately, suffered. Why? Because I was not real. People sensed it. They heard it in my voice. They saw it. They were going like, who is this person? You need to be who you are. Be yourself and no one else. And if you have some personality weaknesses, absolutely work on them. If you want to improve and enlarge the strengths in your personality, absolutely. But people can smell a fake. Don't come across as something that you're not. There's this saying in the industry, which I deplore. It's called fake it till you make it. Understand something. When you fake it till you make it, it still is a fake. And now, don't get me wrong. I'm not wrong. I don't have a problem with role modeling. I don't have a problem with improving who you are. But instead of faking it like wearing fake Rolexes and all the other things that people do, why don't you work diligently towards the real thing? Because people can sense a fake. They can hear it in your vocal cords. They can feel it in your presence. But understand, they'll never let you know that. They'll just disappear. People can smell a fake, but will never tell you they do. They will just go bye-bye. So here's my question. Who do you want to do business with? Do you want to do business with somebody that is real or somebody that you sense is, well, not quite who they purport to be? Hello. So number 1 is be real. Number 2 is be relaxed. The prospect will only be as relaxed as you are. Let me repeat that. The prospect is only going to be only as relaxed as you are. When you start the Power Talk scripts and utilizing the power within them, be relaxed and also relax the prospect. And the single greatest way to relax the prospect is you be relaxed. Take a deep breath and make it easy, not difficult. So number 1 is be real. Number 2 is be relaxed. Number 3 is be reassuring. This is probably the most important one. Most prospects need to be reassured that this is a good thing and that they can do it. Understand this. They're looking for reassurance. Is this going to work for me? Is this something that truly I want to bring into my life? Absolutely. But you must reassure them, because most prospects need to be reassured not only that this is a good thing, but they can do it and do it well. Be calm and encouraging. One of the most powerful things you can do is encourage people while you're talking with them, and that alone will reassure them. Another thing you can do is use testimonials. while you're talking with somebody, use testimonials saying, look what happened to this person, look what happened to that person. That's going to reassure them that this does work and your products do work. Be calm, be encouraging, and let them know that you are there to help them. That's one of the most powerful things you can do with people is say, look, I'm here to help you if this is right for you. I'm going to be there every step of the way. I'm going to teach you, train you, and you have a whole support system that's going to be working with you. Let them know that not only you're there to help them and success is not only possible, but also probable with your leadership. So number one, again, is be real. Just be yourself, guys. Number two is be relaxed. The more relaxed that you come across, the more relaxed the prospect is going to be. And number three, be reassuring. Reassure the prospect that you're going to be there for them. Reassure that they've got what it takes to really, truly do this business. And reassure them that you're going to walk down this success path together. Because if you come across as real, you come across as relaxed, which is a sign of confidence, and come across as reassuring, then you're going to find that the responses that you get with these Power Talk scripts and questions and phrases are going to be so much more powerful. All right, number 7 is this. You will mess up some conversations. You're going to totally goof up. Just don't give up. Number 7 is you're going to mess up some conversations. Hey, that's just the way it is. You're going to mess them up. I messed them up. Everybody's messed up conversations before. You're going to totally goof up. Just don't give up. You know, there's a learning curve with this business, and I think you would agree, as in every business, whether it's real estate, whether it's insurance or anything else, there is a learning curve. And during that learning curve, guys, unfortunately, there's going to be some times that you're just going to mess some conversations up. You're going to walk away and think, man, I just blew it. That's okay. It's all part of the learning process with Power Talk. Now, with these Power Talk scripts, you may have to role play and practice with your upline or maybe with your spouse or somebody like that, and you may have it down absolutely perfect. You may be, wow, I am so ready. But unfortunately, you go out and you just blow it. I can't tell you how many times I walked away from conversations knowing that I could have done a whole lot better. You're going to mess up some conversations as well as some presentations. As a matter of fact, you may be in front of people and suddenly just draw a total blank. That's going to happen. You may mumble, stumble, fumble, and fall over something, but don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up. All you have to do is understand that every single multimillionaire and six-figure income earner in this business went through the same thing. That is part of it. Every entrepreneur that has ever walked the earth has blown it on occasion. I remember one time that I was in front of about 400 people. It was in Memphis, Tennessee, and I was doing a presentation on our company, and I totally drew a blank on the compensation plan. I knew it by heart. I'd done it hundreds of times, but I just drew a blank. And I couldn't remember the names of the pin levels. Everybody was like, what's up, Doug? Well, it's the same thing here. You're going to have on occasion some of these little twitches in your brain, if you will, and you just kind of smile and move on. Every entrepreneur, again, that's ever existed has done this. Don't beat yourself up or get down on yourself. Understand, everybody does it. Everybody's going to goof up. That's just part of it. You know, one of the things that is old school network marketing is constantly beating yourself up over something that you messed up. You need to step up to Power School networking and understand that's just an education process. That's all it is. Understand, you must be willing to be bad at this business for a season in order to become a master at it the rest of your career. Did you get that? You must be willing to be bad at this business for a season in order to become a master of it for the rest of your career. You will improve. You are going to improve dramatically and become the success of your dreams. But you've got to understand, you've got to be willing to walk away from the conversations and presentations that don't go very well. You must just throw up your hands and say, man, I don't know what happened, but all I know is I got to do better next time. Because the more that you understand that it's all about improving, it's all about learning, it's all about just getting past and growing past those not so good conversations, then you don't worry about them. You just say, okay, I blew that one. I'm going to do better next time. Now, there's one thing you can do. You can ask yourself this question, how could I have done it better? That's a great question. If you're talking and you're taking these Power Talk scripts and Power Talk questions, and for whatever reason they don't or didn't work very well, just say, well, how could I have done it better? And then focus in on the next time doing it better that way. You will improve. The secret to this business is one word: continue. It's that simple. Continue. That's all you have to do. You've got to continue and continue getting better, continue focusing in, getting stronger, more powerful at this business. And if you do that, you will eventually strike gold in this business. I promise you. That's all part of the growth process in network marketing. So understand this. You will mess up some conversations. You're going to totally goof up. Just don't give up. And if you do that, then you will find that your business is going to grow continually. It's going to grow magnificently. And you yourself on the inside are going to grow to a place, if you will, that you never thought you would in your pursuit of success. On this track, we're going to start covering the 8 psychological aspects of the prospect. That is the 8 psychological aspects of the prospect. You got to understand, the single most important part of your network marketing, direct sales business, when you start, is the prospect. Without a prospect, you are out of business. Now, there are 8 psychological aspects of which you need to be aware of when talking with people, because understand, the psychology of the prospect is so very important. And that is why that you need to understand these 8 aspects of the prospect in order to be able to maximize the Power Talk Scripts course. What is number 1? The prospect does not want to feel like you are selling them or recruiting them. Let me repeat that. The prospect does not want to feel like you are selling them or recruiting them. I mean, come on. Who really does? Prospects want to feel that they're a part of a valuable conversation, not a veritable manipulation, because many people come across like they're trying to manipulate the prospects. People do not like to feel manipulated. So when you're talking to the prospect, your intention should be one thing: to see if they're open to a new idea. Did you get that? Your job is simply to see if they're open to a new idea. Because understand, there's only 2 types of people that you'll talk to: people that are open to a new idea and people that are closed to a new idea. And that's it. Your job as a network marketer and direct sales professional is to see which one they are. They're either open to learning about your products and about your business, or they're not. And if they're not, you have done nothing wrong. Understand that. That's why that many times the prospect feels like you're trying to sell them, because you're trying to force them into becoming somebody that would be interested when in reality they may not be. Your job is not to convince. You know, there are people in the world that you can help, and then there are people that you cannot help. Let me repeat that. There are people in the world that you can help, and then there's people that you simply can't help. Your job is to separate the 2. They'll either be open to a new idea and somebody you can help, or closed to a new idea and somebody that you can't help. Separate the prospects in either the open column or closed, and work with those who are open to more in life, those who want more in life, those who want to go after more in life. If you do this, you're going to enjoy your business a whole lot more, and it's going to be a whole lot more fun. So make sure you understand, number 1, the prospect does not want to feel like you're selling them or recruiting them. So don't try to sell them or recruit them first. Find out if they're open to a new idea or closed to a new idea. Number 2, take the pressure off and turn the prospect's interest on. Take the pressure off and turn the prospect's interest on. No one wants to be pressured. You don't. I don't. So no matter how good of a business vehicle or product you have, don't pressure. Because all pressure comes across as desperation. You're desperate to make something happen, and people don't like that emotion. You know, when people try to pressure people into coming into the business or buying the product, that is old school network marketing. Guys, it's time that you moved up to power school networking. And what you're going to learn is how to do that right in this training manual, because pressure is only a reflection of what is going on inside of you. Did you get that? That's all pressure is. It's only a reflection of what's going on inside of you. Take it easy. and know that you do not need pressure in order to recruit or sell your product. Did you get that? You don't need to pressure anybody. You need leadership. Leadership is singularly the greatest secret in this industry as far as how to succeed. And you will discover how to integrate that into your conversations as well with the Power Talk Scripts course. So again, number one, the prospect does not want to feel like you're selling them or recruiting them. And number two, take the pressure off and turn the prospect's interest on. Because get this, the more pressure that you exert on a prospect to try to get them to purchase your product or try to get them into your business, the more resistance, the more walls they're going to throw up, and odds are probably the more that they're going to resent you talking to them. The last word in pressure is sure, S-U-R-E. And the surest way to turn somebody off in this industry is to try to pressure them into doing something. Do not pressure. Just let it happen, and whatever is best for them is what you want for them. All right, number three, understand the psychology of the 3 N's when talking with people. The letter N. What you want to do is you understand the psychology of the 3 N's. Your prospect wants to feel 3 things in your conversation. And these are the 3 most important things that you can do in your conversation. The first N is normal. N-O-R-M-A-L. The first N is normal. What you want to do is hold a normal conversation with people and come across like you always do. What is a normal conversation for you? What do you talk about? What do you do? How do you approach somebody? How do you open up the conversation? That is being normal for you and that person. Be normal and be who you are, and do not act or come across like somebody you're not. Because the moment that people feel and sense that this is not a normal conversation, but you're after something or you're trying to manipulate them, they're going to turn off. You know, I tell people, how do you normally start a conversation? They go, well, I say this or I say that. Well, you may want to consider that as a normal way you start a conversation. So let's figure out how we can utilize just what you said, and then from that, let's add maybe a phrase or two that might be able to help you. So the first N of the 3 N's is normal. The second N is natural. First is normal, then is natural. You need to hold a conversation that is natural feeling and not uncomfortable. Because what is a natural thing for you to talk about? If you've got kids, the largest portion of the people that I know that do, they want to talk about their children. If you like sports, if you like cooking, if you like some hobby, if you like talking about television program, whatever is natural, that's what you can start a conversation with. Talk about what is natural and normal for you to talk about. Because one of the things that people like is a conversation that is not uncomfortable, that feels totally relaxed. And when you are relaxed, that's what you're doing. You're being normal, you're being natural, because that's what happens. The third N is non-threatening. First is normal, second is natural, then the third is non-threatening. People want to feel totally comfortable with you, not threatened that you're trying to recruit them or sell them. And be perfectly blunt, that is the only reason why you want them to talk to you. But you can't come across like you have an agenda. You don't know whether this is right for them or not. Because when you start coming across as, I'm going to recruit you, that is old school network marketing. You got to move past that. You need to come across totally as non-threatening. How do you do that? Agenda-less recruiting. The only agenda that you have is seeing whether this is right for them or not. Whether they're open to a new idea and there's somebody that you can help, or maybe they're just closed and you can't help them. Yes, you want to share some information with them, but make sure that it is the right time to do so. So understand the psychology of the 3 N's. You want a conversation that's normal, natural, and non-threatening. Point number 4, move from I want something from you mindset to I have something for you heart set. Move from I want something from you mindset to I have something for you heart set. Many people, when you start talking to prospects, mentally have their hands on the prospect's checkbook. You know that and I know that. You need to move past the from you mindset. Prospects can smell that coming a mile off. It is a selfish focus and not a success focus. You are reaching out to people to give, not take. You must approach people literally with a gift mentality. Have you ever received or given a birthday gift? You know, that emotion right there is what you need to take into every networking venue and every networking conversation, because literally your business and your products are a gift. Now, when you received or somebody got a birthday gift, what were you feeling at that particular moment? Well, what if you could take that same state of the heart and same emotion and let the prospect feel that emotion just flooding from you? What would happen to your business then? You would find that people would be so much more responsive to you. So what you want to do is you want to move from a I want something from you mindset to I have something for you heart set. If you do that, then you're going to find out how magnetic that one little twist can be. You shift from I want something from you to I have something for you, and literally you become a success magnet. All right, number 5, you must understand the millionaire difference. You're saying what? Absolutely, the millionaire difference. One of the most powerful things that you can do is understand that. See, the only difference, and get this guys, the only difference between the average in network marketing and direct sales and the millionaire is that the millionaire has received a much different response from prospects than the average distributor. I'm going to repeat that. The only difference between the average person in network marketing and direct sales and the multimillionaire, even the six-figure income earner, is that the millionaire has received a much different response from prospects than the average distributor. They have received many more positive responses than the average distributor have. Now, what's the difference? The millionaire difference is understanding that they have gotten their quote-unquote approach down, their presentation down to where it elicits a positive response versus resistance and versus possibly a negative response. That is the single greatest difference between millionaires and the average person in network marketing. Because millionaires understand that it's all about the prospect. They understand the psychology of being normal and natural and non-threatening. They also understand that it's all about the prospect as far as the conversation. They focus in on the prospect, finding out what they want in life, finding out what's missing in their life, and then from there, they talk to them about how that their business and how their products can benefit the particular prospect. Remember the value function? Millionaires understand it's all about value. How would you like to be able to literally turn every response that you get into a positive response and literally have that quote-unquote millionaire response that most millionaires get? Well, if you can create that with Power Talk Scripts course, which, believe it or not, the majority of what you're going to learn with Power Talk Scripts course help create many millionaires in this business, then you will have discovered the millionaire difference. Because I'm only talking from my particular success that I was blessed with in this business, and I can name probably 100 more people that were blessed as well with multi-million-dollar incomes. All I can tell you is that they got very positive responses, while everyone else seemed to get, well, not such a positive response. That is why that the average millionaire has gotten so much better responses than the average person. And understand, this training manual is going to teach you the millionaire difference. That's what Power Talk Scripts course is all about, and how you can obtain the responses from your prospects that millionaires do. Because what they say, what they do, the questions they ask are in the Power Talk Scripts course. Because all of these scripts, questions, and phrases produce hundreds of millions of dollars in volume. So the next one is you must understand the millionaire difference. Number 6. You must learn the 4 A's of the psychology of the prospect. You're saying the 4 A's? Absolutely. The prospect is looking for 4 things, and you must shower them with them. The first A is approved of. Most people are looking to be approved of, and you must engage that. And you'll learn that in the Power Talk scripts on how people want to feel approved of and how to approve of them very quietly. Most never feel approved of, and you must let them feel that from you. The second is appreciated. First is people want to be approved of. The second, people want to be appreciated. Prospects rarely feel appreciated at work and at home. You must appreciate their time and who they are and what they have accomplished in their life, no matter how little or possibly how much. So number one, people want to feel approved of. Number two, people want to feel appreciated. The third A is acclaimed. Many prospects are never recognized and praised for what they do at work or at home. You must acclaim their greatness and who they are and where they're going on in their life, even with something as simple as a compliment. So number one, people want to feel approved of. Number two, appreciated. Number three is acclaimed. And number four, the fourth A is a part of. Everyone wants to be a part of something that is bigger than they are and will take their lives where they never thought they could go. Your business must point to this and make them feel a part of something that is going to be huge, a part of a team, a part of a leadership team. Approve of the prospects, appreciate them, acclaim them, and make them feel a part of something bigger than they've ever dreamed for their lives. Why would you want to do it? Because that is how millionaires do it, and you're going to learn in the Power Talk Scripts course how exactly to do that. All right, number 7 of the 8 psychological aspects of the prospects are the 3 C's of talking with people. Now, we just went over the 4 A's of the psychology of the prospect. This is the 3 C's of talking with people. And in Power Talk Scripts course, you must understand this. When you talk with people, there are 3 steps that you should strive for, whether it's cold market, whether it's warm market. The first thing, step number 1, is to get them comfortable. You need to get the prospect comfortable with you. Now, how do you do that? Well, very simple. You be comfortable with what you are doing and talk about them. Let me repeat that. You be comfortable with what you're doing and talk about them. It's all about the prospect. It has nothing to do with you. You focus in on what their desires are, what their wants are, what they're looking for, what they want. Talk about them. We've gone through many different things in the Power Talk Scripts course on how to draw them into your conversation. And when you talk about them, and we have a whole listing, if you will, in this scripts course, is far of how to talk to them. It's called FLOSS, F-L-O-S-S. Some people use FORM. We have always used FLOSS because it was specifically designed for network marketing and direct sales. It's family, where do you live, what's your occupation, have you ever been in sales and marketing, and where would you like to see yourself in 3 years? It's in the scripts course, so all you have to do is learn it and then practice it. Find out all you can about what is going on in their lives and compliment them and just talk about what they want to talk about. Get them comfortable. Just simply focus on them. So the first C, number 1, is getting them comfortable. The second is connecting with them. You then need to connect with the prospect. It's not enough just to get them comfortable, but you want them thinking, wow, they're just like me. Even if it's a warm market prospect, you want them to feel comfortable and glad that you called. Find something that you have in common with them and then do it again. Focus on what you have in common with them and talk about that. Ask questions about that and get them talking about something that you then can connect with them with. Relate to what they're saying and to what they're doing. I don't care whether it's an occupation or whether they live in this neighborhood and you have a friend, or whether they deliver mail and you know somebody that delivers mail. By the way, all of this is explained in the Power Talk Scripts course. What you want to do is you want them, get them thinking, wow, she is a lot like me, or wow, he's a lot like me. And you want your warm market to think, I'm really glad that she called. Connect in the areas of career. Connect in the areas of maybe geography, otherwise where they live. Connect in the areas of what they're interested in, their hobbies. You may have the same hobby. You may have children. Well, if they've got children, connect with them on that. And connect with them on any other thing that you have in common. Now, here's a little warning. I don't go into politics. I don't go into faith unless I know they're of my faith. So just a little warning, because sometimes that can turn people off. So the 3 C's of talking with people. Number 1 is comfortable. Number 2 is connect. And number 3 is construct. We call it a 5-second rapport. Constructing a path to the information that you want to share with them by constructing a bridge of trust and rapport. We've been teaching this little puppy for almost 15 years. We develop what we call 5-second rapport. And this is very simple to do. Use their name and start asking questions about them. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Who, what, when, where, why, and how are what we have taught for years. You know, who do you work for? What do you do for a living? When did you start there? Where do you work? Why are you working there? And how long have you been there? This 5-second rapport is a very powerful way to start the construction of the bridge of trust and developing rapport with anyone, anywhere, anytime. First, make the prospect comfortable, then connect with them, and then start constructing that bridge of trust and rapport to move them into the conversation that's going to get them into the system of information. So number 7 are the 3 C's of talking with people. And number 8, if you want to build $1 million business, make your prospects feel like $1 million. You know, my mentor in this business has done $5 billion in volume. He said one day, Doug, if you want to build $1 million business, then make your prospects feel like $1 million. Those words were literally worth millions to me, and they can be to you. You need to understand that most people feel beat down, powerless, and many of them feel worthless. You need to pour into them words of power, words of encouragement, and a can-do heart set. If you make these people feel like $1 million, you will find the fruit of that to be $1 million business. And we also recommend that you plug into the incredible training series, The Ultimate Power Start, called TUPS. What it is, it's a rotating 4-week training telewebinar to get distributors off to a scorching and blazing start. Not only will it validate and complement your current company training, but it will help teach you some things that will blow your mind. It's in the Power Talk Scripts course, or you can go to passionfire.com and learn all about it. This is Doug Firebaugh for CD1 of the Power Talk Scripts course. Listen to this again, get it into your spirit, get it into your soul, because this has got the secrets of being able to totally maximize everything in the Power Talk Scripts manual. Thank you, and God bless you. Hey guys, it's Doug Firebaugh, and welcome to Power Talks Scripts course. What an honor it is to be spending time with you today and being a partner in the process of your success in direct sales and direct marketing. You know, there are over 250 power scripts, phrases, questions, and all kinds of bullet points in this particular resource that's going to teach you literally how to talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime. And I encourage you not only to utilize the scripts, but also to take them out into the marketplace and literally let them do what they did for us, which produced a phenomenal business. And by the way, only your integrity and honesty is going to keep you from making copies of these CDs. We know you will do the right thing. Again, this is Doug Firebaugh, Power Talk Scripts course. Thank you, and God bless you. Hey guys, this is Doug Firebaugh, and welcome to CD number 2 of the Power Talk Scripts course. Obviously, the first CD, if you've listened to it, goes over how to maximize the Power Talk Scripts course in your business, as well as how to maximize the usage of it. This particular CD is going to go over some scripts and phrases and questions and secrets simply to talking to people. Now understand something. This particular CD is not going to be able to go over all 90 success points and all 270 some scripts, phrases, and questions and secrets, transitions and openers and softeners and all the things that are in the scripts course. That would take probably 10 CDs. But what we're going to do here is we're going to learn a little bit about maybe some questions, maybe a few softeners, maybe a few transition phrases, and just highlight what's in this particular scripts course. Now understand this. With this CD, you listen to this because it's going to help you not only internalize a lot of the verbiage used in the Power Talk Scripts course, but also how to become more comfortable with it. Because the more comfortable that you become with the questions, with the phrases, with the scripting, and it becomes yours, then the more natural it's going to sound. And that's one of the most important parts. I want you to get this. Make it yours. Make it sound like you, not like somebody else. And if you do that, if you take the Power Talk Scripts course questions and phrases and all the things that are within it, all 270 scripts, then if you take 1, 2, 3, or 4 of them and master them, as we talked about on the first CD, and make them your own, then you'll find that your response and your results are going to be so much more powerful. Number one, the first thing I want to do is go over the 4 power words in approaching any one warm or cold market. These are the 4 most powerful words in the approach. And see, the 4 most powerful words in approaching people are, I need your help. I need your help. This is a phrase that contains what we call psychological triggers. I mean, come on, if a buddy of yours or a girlfriend of yours calls you and says, Lisa, I need your help on something, what is your natural response? You're going to go, well, okay, sure, what do you need? We're taught from a very young age to help people, especially friends and family, when they need it. And see, when you say these 4 words, I need your help, it changes the prospect's listening. It is a powerful way to engage anyone by asking for their help. And understand, this is not in the Power Talk Scripts course, but there's 4 levels of listening. Listening at, listening to, listening with, and listening for. The lowest level is listening at. The next level is listening to. The 3rd level is listening with. And the 4th level is listening for. The highest level of listening is listening for. What they're doing is they're listening for how they can help you when you ask this. For instance, Mary, do you have a second? I need your help. Or Mary, are you busy? I need your help on something. Or Mary, I need your help with something. Do you have a second? What you're going to find that when you use these 4 words, I need your help, you're going to find the response totally positive for the most part. Now, there are some people that on occasion may say, well, what do you need? But I've found that 9 out of 10 people will say, well, sure, how can I help? The second one is maybe you can help me. Maybe you can help me. It's just another version of that. Another way that you can talk to people and ask for their help is maybe you can help me. See, this is another tactic to ask for your friends' help and maybe your neighbors, your family's help, because when you ask for their help, immediately the psychological triggers going off in their mind saying, I need to help my friend. And irregardless of whether the business is for them or whether the products are for them, they're going to help you at least possibly find some people. And that's key, because remember, again, what you want to do is you want to find the people that you know will help you in some format and call them first. Number 3 is, I need a favor. You know, when you ask for a favor from someone, you're tapping into another psychological trigger. The word favor carries with it many pictures in the mind. Most people will do you a favor, and this includes helping you possibly find customers or prospects for your products or business. For instance, John, I need a favor. Do you have a second? Or Larry, are you busy? I need a favor from you. Or Tom, I need a favor. I know you can help me. See, these are the types of responses that work, and they work very well. If you try and you utilize it, I need your help, or maybe you can help me, or I need a favor, you will find your responses at least 10 times more positive from people you talk to. All right, the next phrase we're going to go over is very simple. Could you give me a hand with something I'm working on? Another powerful way to engage these psychological triggers is to ask for a hand from a friend or a family member. This is always a great way of getting a, well, sure, or of course. This is a phrase that has worked for tens of thousands of people. When you ask for a hand with something, you are asking for their participation as well. For instance, it would sound like, John, could you give me a hand with something? I could really use some help with finding a couple of really good people. Or Mary, could you please give me a hand with something? I need your input on a product. Or Terry, do you have a second? I need a hand with something new that I'm doing. And here's how you can help. If you ask somebody for a hand, you will be shocked at realistically how readily they will give it to you. Another powerful phrase as you go through the manual is number 6. Do you have a second? You know, I took a lot of telephone courses and classes, and one of the most powerful questions I learned was never ask, do you have a couple of minutes? Always just say, well, do you have a second? We have taught this for years, and we've even taught it to real estate, insurance, and mortgage seminars. And even car salespeople, we've taught this phrase. It is, understand this, it is a psychological fact that when people hear, do you have a second? They will respond almost 7 times more with a positive response than if you ask for a few minutes. Do you have a second is a psychological trigger that just about almost always gets a yes, as everyone has a second to spare with people. Now make sure that you honor that, because when you ask for a second, don't take 20 minutes. Do not take several minutes and 20 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour with some pitch. Don't do that. That is old school network marketing. It's a bait and switch. If you just ask for a second, make sure that that's all you take. You know, it's understandable that people want to get excited and do a presentation right there on the spot. But when you say, do you have a second, just show them what you want and ask them, and then don't take any more of their time. And understand, if you ask for a second, most people will give you at least a minute or two, but no more. All you want to do is create an exposure with your products or business to possibly set an appointment for later, not to educate them, present them, or try to sell them right there on the spot. For instance, Mary, do you have a second? I could use some help with something new I've run across. Or Luke, do you have a second? I need a hand with something that, well, you may be able to help me with. Or Teresa, just curious, do you have a second? I need to get your honest opinion on something that I've run across that I feel that you need to know about. Do you have a second is a very powerful way to be able to ask people simply for their time. Let's move on to number 7. I have run across the most amazing thing. I had a good friend, her name was Lynn. She was in West Virginia, could not get an appointment for this new product. Don't know why, she just couldn't. But I said, Lynn, you may want to try this phrase. I have run across the most amazing thing. She was like, well, I'll give it a shot. The next 12 people that she called, guess what? She got 7 appointments. This phrase helps paint a picture that you've run across something and you simply want to share this new idea with some folks. It is unassuming and totally non-threatening. And you will find as you use this phrase, you will see much more positive responses. Most people do not want to be left behind or left out on anything that, well, they want to be quote unquote in the know. It sort of creates a fear of loss. Use this phrase on anyone and anywhere. Not only does it work, but it's very powerful, subtle way, if you will, of saying, I want to share something with you. You can use this phrase in any part of a conversation, whether at the beginning, middle, or end. It works anywhere you put it. For instance, Lisa, I've run across the most amazing thing. I wanted to know if you were aware of it. Have you ever heard of ABC Company? Or let's say you're in the middle of a conversation. And Tim, speaking on something different, I've run across the most amazing thing. Do you have a second? And by the way, Lisa, before I go, I wanted to share an idea with you. I've run across the most amazing thing. Do you have a second? This is a very powerful way to open up a conversation and simply let people know you've found something that you will personally think is amazing and you want to share it with them. It's that simple. And if you use this phrase just like Lynn found out, it will open doors for you that maybe you were having really trouble even knocking on. I have run across the most amazing thing. It's going to open doors for you guys, I promise. You know, another powerful approach in the Power Talk Scripts course is I have stumbled across something. You know, this is a powerful way to be able to talk with somebody and just out of nowhere say, you know something, I have stumbled across something. Because many people like to know that just out of nowhere, you've discovered something, you've stumbled across something, you've run across something. It's a very good way to be able to start a conversation. It's just another way of saying that you've run across something and you're excited about it. It is a great phrase and to use in any conversation and comes across as, oh, by the way, remember Columbo back in, I don't know, in the 80s maybe? The show Columbo where Peter Falk was going, oh, by the way, we would always get ready to leave, then suddenly he would turn around and then he would do his Columbo thing. Oh, you know, I was just thinking. Well, this is how this works. You know, I've stumbled across something that is so cool. And see, when people stumble across something, it means that you were not looking for it. As most people were not looking for a network marketing quote unquote business. That is the truth. You weren't looking for it, it just sort of happened. And it really creates a curiosity that people will be drawn towards and feel totally connected to. For instance, it goes like this. Tom, I wanted to let you know that I have stumbled across something that is so cool. It's a healthcare company and a product that is so different, but it actually works. Larry, I'm not sure if you've heard of this, but I've stumbled across something so amazing. Have you ever heard of the company ABC? Or by the way, Leah, I've stumbled across something that is so cool and I wanted to share it with you. Do you have a second? Do you see how all of this works? Because the moment that you start using Power Talk scripts and just simply opening up conversations, you become 10 feet tall and bulletproof, because the majority of the time you will get a positive response. Another one is, let's go move on to number 10. I wanted to make you aware of it. I wanted to make you aware of it is a very powerful phrase, because it goes to show that you know something that they don't. This is a more direct way of letting someone know that you want to make someone aware of something that you have run across or found. It is not selling, guys. Get the distinction here. It is not selling, but informing someone of something. Anybody can sell or pitch something. Here, you're informing and sharing a new idea with somebody. It is a non-threatening way of talking to people that really can disarm their defenses, if you will, and bring down their walls. For instance, it sounds like this. And Robin, when I ran across this, I thought this would be something you could use, and I wanted to make you aware of it. Or Larry, there are a lot of great things I've seen lately, but one I found out really stands out, and I wanted to make you aware of it. Or Lisa, I need to talk with you because I've stumbled across something that I know that you'll want to be made aware of if you're not already. Have you ever heard of a company or product called ABC? I wanted to make you aware of it as a very powerful way to be able to start a conversation. Another way that we can work on, something I just dearly love, is are you busy? I'd love to get your input on something. This is a very powerful phrase, if you will. This is a standard opening with a psychological trigger attached that says that something has brought value to your life and you want to share it with them. Now, understand about psychological triggers. It's something that psychologically draws us towards the person when they ask this question. And when you say, are you busy? I'd like to get your input on something. Psychologically, people start being drawn towards you. This is a very simple and very powerful phrase. You can also use this in the middle or end of any conversation with a simple, and by the way, I'd love to get your input on something. Are you busy? It sounds like this. Mary, are you busy? I could use some help. I would love to get your input on something that has really helped me. Or Tom, just curious, are you busy? I could use your opinion on something. I would love to get your input on something that has proven to me a real value in my life. Or Leanne, are you busy? Do you have just 1 second? I would love to get your input on something I have run across that is something that's really helped me with my sleeping. And I thought it might help you because I know that you're kind of unfortunately suffering from the same thing. Because if you're suffering from some type of health or some type of financial challenge, any type of challenge, and you know other people that are going through that too, and you've found something that will help you, then make them aware of it. I'd love to get your input on something that's helped me with this, and I know that you kind of have the same challenge. Because when you start creating that type of benefits-oriented conversation, then you will find that people not only will be responding to you more positively, but the results you get will be a whole lot better as well. All right, on this next one, it's one of the more powerful ways that a brand new distributor can really truly start getting the message out. You got to understand the psychology of the brand new distributor. Most people are excited about their business, but they're a little fearful because they really don't know how their friends and family and neighbors and everybody they know are going to respond. And, that's totally understandable. So we came up with the idea of what we call simply the connecting audio. The hello, it's me connecting audio. It's a very powerful way to be able to send out an announcement, if you will, in your own voice about your new business. One of the most powerful ways to connect to your friends and family and get them to look at your product or business is to send out an announcement from you in your own voice. This is something that we did for years, and it worked like crazy. Simply, with today's computer technology, you can record your voice and make copies of it on CDs. Or you can simply get a recorder at Radio Shack for like $39. We recommend you do an introduction about your business of maybe 3 minutes or so and ask for their help as a friend or family member and then mail it to them. Write on the CD this phrase, 3 minutes long, listen to this please. 3 minutes long, listen to this please. Now here's a sample of the script we used, and understand something. There's many different scripts that we had. It depended upon what a person wanted to say. This is just one script of probably a dozen that we had for the connecting audio. Hi guys, this is Doug. And the reason for this very short audio is I need your help on something. I wanted to make you aware of how you can possibly help me. By the way, I want to stop here and let you know that if you wanted to record maybe 24 audios and have their name in it, that makes it that much more powerful. So let me start over. Hey Lisa, this is Doug. And the reason for this very short audio is I need your help on something, and I wanted to make you aware of how you can possibly help. I've always wanted to have more control over my life, and I've done something I've always wanted to do. I've started my own business in the healthcare industry. I'm looking for some help with people that, well, you could possibly use this kind of product, and also looking for some folks who could use some additional revenues for their lives. You know, the company I've chosen to partner with is a great company out of Los Angeles, California called ABC Company, and it has some amazing products. I just wanted to make you aware of this, and again, I could really use your help as a friend. I wanted you to hear what I was doing in my own voice, and also to thank you in advance for your help. Your support and encouragement will mean the world to me, and I really thank you in advance for it. I truly appreciate your friendship. Now this Hello It's Me connecting audio is one very powerful way to be able to get your friends and family at least on board to help you. Now you may want to redo it a little bit and put it in your own quote unquote personality, but when you start sending these out and you start doing it exactly the way the Power Talk Scripts course teaches you, you will be stunned at the response of it because it works. The next one is if the right thing came along. You know, this question can be used anywhere in the conversation you were holding. If the right thing came along. It is a very thought-provoking question. It makes people think in a way that they may never have thought of before. You can use this for either warm market or even cold market prospects. It also gets them talking about something that's very important, their future. For instance, it would sound like this. Hey Tom, let me ask you a question. If the right thing came along and you knew it was right for you and you can make some really good money at it, would you want to know about it? Or by the way, Larry, let me ask you a question. You said last week that you needed more money. Now get this, guys. This is after you've talked with somebody and they've told you that they needed more money. You know, you said last week that you needed more money, and if the right thing came along and you knew it was right for you and you could make some great money without really changing much about what you're doing, would you want to know about it? Or I have an off-the-wall question, Sam. I want to ask you. If the right thing came along and you knew it was right for you and you could make some really good money with it, would you want to explore it? See, these are the types of questions that get people's quote-unquote psychological makeup moving towards you. Why? Because everybody knows if something is right for them, of course they want to know about it. Only thing you're doing is you're asking them in a way that maybe nobody's ever asked them before. This is a very powerful phrase, if you will, of getting people to start moving towards you effortlessly. All right, on this next approach, what we're going to talk about is very simple, the power practice approach. And we know that there's some trainers out there that have taken this kind of like for their own, and and even some leaders in downlines, which is great. We don't have a problem with that. But one of the things that we want to let you know is we've been teaching this for over 14 years. Now, we've been teaching this approach not only for 14 years, but here's the deal. For 14 years, it has worked like crazy. And see, we came up with it basically out of desperation, as nothing else seemed to be working. And man, when we started utilizing this, it worked like crazy. You know, we actually taught the practice approaches on a now defunct online training site that we had about 4 or 5 years ago, and this one approach generated more positive emails than just about any other approach we taught. It gives your friends literally a chance to see what you're doing, and rarely will you get a negative response on this one. Guys, that's the key to power school networking, putting yourself in a situation that you don't get a negative response. Old school network marketing, you get a lot of no's. Power School Network, in which we teach, you rarely get a negative response. So what does this approach sound like? Well, the power practice approach number 1 is what we call live presentation. Tom, are you busy? I need some help. I've recently partnered with a company that has asked me to do 5 presentations this week. And I need someone to practice on before I go live. I mean, come on, if I'm going to mess up, I'd rather do it in front of you than somebody else. When do you have about 10 minutes this week I can run by and practice? Or Larry, I need your help on something. I have recently joined a company that markets skincare products. They've asked me to find a couple of folks to practice on before I start doing live presentations. Can you please help me out? When do you have 10 minutes this week I can run by? Or Mary, I need a hand with something. I've recently joined up with a company and they are requiring me to do 5 presentations this week, but I really need some practice before I do them. Could you please help me out? When do you have 10 minutes that I can run by this week? And keep your checkbook in your drawer. I don't want to try to sell you anything, but you may possibly even have some advice that could help me do it better. These power practice approaches we found not only work, but they are so powerful in bringing forth what's really the relationship, the core of any relationship that you have with somebody. Another power practice approach, which you'll do one more, is called Big Shot. We used this one for a long time, and it really does work. By the way, we had about a dozen different versions of this approach, maybe even 15 or so. But for this particular CD, we're only going to go over 2. And again, I encourage you to role play these before you do them. It will add to your success immensely. So what does this Big Shot power approach sound like? Tom, I need your help on something. I recently joined a company, and a supervisor for that company is going on a couple of appointments with me this week. I would like to practice my presentation before I go, and I was wondering if you could possibly let me practice on you for a couple of times. Man, it sure would make the live presentations easier, and I could use your help. Larry, a supervisor in this new company with which I have recently partnered with, will be accompanying me on a couple of appointments this week, and I need some practice before this takes place. As a friend, could you please let me practice a presentation with you before I do this live presentation? Or Tim, I could use some help. I recently joined with a company, and one of their big shots is riding with me this week to go on a couple of presentations. I need someone to practice on before I go live so I don't mess up. As a friend, could you please help me out and let me practice on you before I ride with this big shot? And by the way, 3 very important words, as a friend. One of the most powerful things you can utilize is that phrase, as a friend, because when you're asking people to give you their time so that you can practice on them as far as your quote-unquote presentation, you're asking them not only as a potential business quote-unquote appointment, but you're utilizing and asking as a friend. I encourage you to go through all of the power practice approaches in Power Talk, because the moment you recognize and realize that these approaches are almost impossible to get a negative response, then you will be teaching them to your distributors because you're setting them up for success versus getting a lot of no's at the very beginning. Another powerful way to approach people is something that I love, this question. Do you think it is possible? Everybody likes possibilities. They like the new things in their life. Well, many times you have to ask the right questions to get the right answers. Did you get that? You gotta ask the right questions to get the right answers. And this Power Talk question can help move you closer to getting new distributors, because it really opens up a lot of people's thinking and gets them to look at their lives like they need to, which most never do. It sounds like this. Teresa, lately I've started questioning a lot about life, and you may have been too. I just believe that there's got to be more to life than just what we're living. Do you think it's possible for the average person to own his or her own business and succeed in it from home? And then just simply ask why after the question. Do you think it's possible for the average person to own their own business and succeed with it out of their home? Armani, lately I've been thinking about a lot of things, including the future. I'm just curious. Do you think it's possible for people to achieve wealth out of their homes? Why do you think that? That's a great question. Do you think it's possible for people to achieve wealth out of their home with their own business? No matter whether they say yes or no, say, well, why do you think that? Or Lou, I have a question for you. Do you think it's possible to become wealthy working a business out of your home? Well, that's interesting. Why do you think that? Well, would that be something that you would like to see in the future in your life? Well, let me tell you what I've run across. See, this is a script that's amazing because it really does get people not only focused in on their own life and future, but it also helps them see things in their mind. I'm going to go through this one more time. Lou, I have a question for you. Do you think it's possible to become wealthy working a business out of your home, a home-based business? You do? Why do you think that? Would that be something that you would like to see in your future, or do you know somebody that would like to see that in their future? Well, let me tell you about what I've run across, because I've run across the most amazing thing. Do you see how that you can interchange and utilize more than one Power Talk phrase and script? That's why that when you learn these scripts, or at least maybe pick out a half a dozen and start mastering them, you can utilize them in any conversation. Let's move on now to number 26. I would like to chat with you sometime. This is a very powerful phrase because I rarely use, as a matter of fact, Tom, I'd like to discuss something with you, or I'd like to talk with you. Because those actually psychologically denote something serious is coming. And don't get me wrong, it is serious, but people don't want to generally talk about something serious with a friend unless it's really a challenge or something that you're going through. We always use the word chat, C-H-A-T. Why? Because chat psychologically denotes warm and friendly and something short. I would like to chat with you sometime. One of the biggest problems with network marketing and direct sales is there's often a lack of comfort in the conversations. I think you would agree with that. It is the words that you choose that can be the deciding factor on whether or not you get an appointment or conversation about your business. This Power Talk phrase we have found is a real winner because it paints a picture of a personal conversation, not some sales pitch. It is a very friendly approach, if you will, and it doesn't come across as like you're trying to sell them something. I'd like to chat with you sometime. It'd sound like this. Nancy, do you have some time late this week? I'd love to chat with you about something I have found, and I think you'll appreciate knowing about it. Nero, I forgot to mention this, but I'd love to chat with you sometime soon about something that has really made a difference in my life and possibly could make a difference in yours. Or, by the way, Tom, please don't let me forget to call you. I'd like to chat with you about something, about an idea I recently discovered, or I recently ran across, or I recently stumbled across. Do you see again how a lot of these phrases are interchangeable? Only thing you do is you create your own phrase that works for you. I would love to chat with you sometime. And if you utilize the word chat, you will find that people will pretty much start responding to you in a little bit more positive fashion, especially when it's like oh, by the way, please don't let me forget to call you. I want to chat with you about something that I've recently ran across that is amazing. If you do that type of quote unquote opening, that type of approach, you will find people responding to you so much more positive. All right, we're going to move on to power phrase number 29. I want to ask you an off-the-wall question. And guys, if I had a favorite phrase, this would have to be in my top 2 or 3. I love this phrase and used it thousands of times. I want to ask you an off-the-wall question. This Power Talk phrase is what we call an insert. You can insert this phrase anywhere in any conversation and really get the attention of the person to whom you're talking with. I mean, it really gets them curious. The phrase off the wall tells the person it's not your normal run-of-the-mill question. This one's going to be special. It's going to be different. And also what it does, it builds curiosity immensely. And see, the more that you use this, you will find that it really gets the attention of the person to whom that you're talking with and frames the next coming question as different and potentially valuable. I want to ask you an off-the-wall question. It would sound like this. Larry, I want to ask you an off-the-wall question. Have you ever thought about being wealthy and not having to work? What did it look like when you thought that? Well, I've been thinking about the same thing. Or Sue, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you an off-the-wall question. Are you happy with what you're doing for a living? Or do you truly want more out of life? I love that one. Are you happy with what you're doing for a living, or would you like more out of life? Or Sally, I want to ask you an off-the-wall question. Have you ever thought about having enough money that you do not have to work? Yeah, so have I. And I've been thinking about it a lot lately. Let me tell you my thoughts. See, when you start creating this conversation about, I want to ask you an off-the-wall question, it really does give you permission to take the conversation just about anywhere you want. And that is why that when you say, you ask this question, have you ever thought about having enough money that you did not have to work? Or are you happy with what you're doing for a living? Or any of those types of questions, have you ever thought about being wealthy and not having to work? It really truly does then psychologically get the person not only moving towards you, but it gets them thinking. Another powerful phrase is number 33, just curious. Are you keeping your income options open? I love that question. Just curious about something. Are you keeping your income options open? People are frequently looking for what we call life options. And see, when you ask them if they are keeping their income options open, you may be surprised to find out that they've had them open for a while. It goes like this. Mary, I'm just curious about something. Are you keeping your income options open to more income? Well, I have an idea that I've run across that may be something we can do together to make some great money. Or Lynn, I have an off-the-wall question. Are you and your wife keeping your income options open? Or are you making all the money you want? Either one. Lynn, I have an off-the-wall question. Are you making all the money you want? I'm thinking of starting a business out of my home and wanted you to maybe work some with me. Or Louise, you mentioned a couple of weeks ago that you needed some more income. Are you still keeping your income options open? And again, this is when somebody's told you up front in a previous conversation, man, I could use more money. Well, come back with them maybe a week later and say, you mentioned a couple of weeks ago that you needed some more income. Are you still keeping your income options open? And here is just about as blunt as it gets. Have you ever thought about owning your own business? Lots of people think about owning their own business but never talk about it. I don't know why, but they really never mention it. You probably know people that are like that. This approach can be used in any part of a conversation, and it is direct but soft. Very, very soft approach. We used it as a transition from one conversation to another and pointed to the business at which we were looking or working and which we decided to move in. It goes like this. Lane, I have a question that has been on my mind a lot lately, and I was wondering if it's ever crossed your mind. Have you ever thought about owning your own business or even a part-time business out of your home? Really? Well, what have you been thinking? Or Nan, I've been thinking lately of the future and where my life is headed, and was wondering if you've ever thought about owning your own business like I have been. Really? Well, tell me what you've been thinking. Because when you ask somebody, have you ever thought about owning your own business, it not only is a gentle way of prompting them to think about it, but it also then puts them in a mindset to either they are or they're not. Remember on CD1, you learned that there's only two types of people. There's people that you can help, and there's people that you cannot help. And if somebody's never thought about owning their own business and doesn't want to, then that's okay. They still potentially could be a customer. But don't bother them about the ideas right now of what you have. What you want to do is you want to find people whose timing is right now and been thinking about owning a home business, not necessarily somebody that's not interested in it. All right, we're going to move now on this track to cold market communication. The last 5, 6, 7 tracks have been nothing but warm market. And yes, you can use it in the cold market, but what we want to do is we want to now move into a couple of tracks on cold market communication. Now understand something, cold market leads are a great way to find and talk to people. I used them for over 5 years and had huge success with them. These are just some voicemail messages that you can use when leaving messages for your prospects. And by the way, we had over 50 powerful cold market voicemail messages we taught our team, and we just said, use which one you feel most comfortable with. But realistically, you need only a few that you can use to get your prospects' attention and then eventually be able to talk with them. Power Talk Scripts has, I believe, close to a dozen different voicemail messages for the cold market that you can utilize. But also understand that there is a Power Talk Scripts course number 3, turning the cold market into a gold market, that's coming out in April 2007, and it's going to be a fabulous, fabulous resource. Now, there are 3 schools of thoughts about, cold market communication. Number 1, leave information. Then the second thought, leave only a name and number, or number 3, hang up. Well, we did the first two, as it depends on your personality, and besides that, with the ID calling and caller ID right now, people know whether they know your number or not. By the way, here's a tip. Make the voicemail very short. You don't want the prospect to think that you're hounding them. Keep it less than 30 seconds. I told them keep it less than 10 to 15 seconds if at all possible, just enough to get them to call. Here's one that we used for years. My name is Lisa, and you requested someone from my company to call you. As I understand it, you had requested some information from our company, ABC. And I want to make sure that we get you the information that you need. We're now holding initial conversations with some potential leaders, and I'm not sure that this would be something right for you or you would be right for us, but I'd love to chat for a minute. The possible income potential for the person with whom we work is significant. You can call me at 1-800-555-1212 for some preliminary information, and I'm looking forward to talking. Again, my number is 1-800-555-1212. Now understand something. This is a very powerful phrase as far as leaving a voicemail. I'm going to repeat this one more time. My name is Lisa, and you requested someone to call you. As I understand it, you had requested some information from our company, ABC, and I want to make sure that we get you the information that you need. We are now holding initial conversations with some potential leaders, and I'm not sure that this would be something right for you or you would be right for us, but I'd love to chat for a minute. The possible income potential for the person with whom we work with is significant. You can call me at 1-800-555-1212 for some preliminary information, and looking forward to it. And again, my number is 1-800-555-1212. Now understand something. What you've done here is you've basically told them, I'm not sure whether you'd be right for us or whether we'd be right for you, but I'd just like to chat for a minute. It's a very professional voicemail. Another one is on number 54. It's called Learn a Little Bit About You. I love this one and almost use this one exclusively. The last thing you want to do is sound needy on a voicemail. You need to sound like a leader. Understand this. In cold market recruiting, leadership rules. It's all about leadership. We've been teaching cold market tactics for a lot of years, and it's all about coming across like a leader, not a needer. Did you get that? It's all about coming across like a leader, not a needer. You have something that can change people's lives. So use that power of transformation in your voicemail as well. My name is Derek. As I understand it, you've requested someone from our company, ABC, to give you a call. I would like to take just a minute to chat soon, as we're holding initial conversations now with potential leaders. I'd like to learn a little bit about you, tell you a little bit about us, and see if there's any reason for us to talk any further. I'm not sure whether this would be a fit for you or you would be a fit for us, but would love to take a minute and explore some options. The possible income for the person we work with can be significant. Please give me a call at 1-800-555-1212. I really look forward to chatting with you and seeing what you're looking for. Did you get that? It is a very powerful voicemail. My name is Derek, and as I understand it, you've requested someone from our company, ABC, to give you a call. I'd like to take just a minute to chat soon, as we're holding initial conversations now with potential leaders. I'd like to learn a little bit about you, tell you a little bit about us, and see if there's any reason for us to talk any further. I'm not sure whether this would be a fit for you or you'd be a fit for us, but would love to take a minute and explore some options. The possible income for the person we work with can be significant. So please give me a call at 1-800-555-1212. I really look forward to chatting with you and seeing what you're looking for. This one voicemail I left probably 10,000 times on voicemails, but it works. And the reason why it works is because people are drawn psychologically towards it because it is so soft, so non-threatening, and professional. You know, there's a lot of other voicemail options now for cold market as well. And understand something. I love this one, number 59 in the Power Talk Scripts course. It's cold market voicemail message number 7. Explore some ideas. I love that phrase because everybody likes to explore new ideas. As a matter of fact, in Fortune magazine several years ago, they interviewed over 400 CEOs. And the two most powerful words, according to over 90% of these CEOs when interviewed, was simply new idea. People like new ideas, and that's what this cold market voicemail message is for. Now again, back in the early 90s to mid 90s, we had so many voicemail messages that people could pick and choose what they felt was right for their personality. Our group used them so much. But this one right here is generally can be used by anybody, and that's why I like it. Ideas are a wonderful thing, I think you would agree, in any business, especially in this business. See, you are leaving a message that you have some ideas that could like to explore with the prospect, and you would simply like to chat. And again, not a lot of information given, not even the company name if you don't want to, but it does arouse curiosity with the prospect, because again, I use this one a lot. It says, Larry, my name is Lisa, and as I understand it, you had requested some information about our company. The reason for the call is I'd like to chat with you simply to explore some ideas with you, as well as to explore exactly what you're looking for. I'm not sure if this would be right for you or if you would be right for us, but let's chat to see how we might be able to connect. My number is 555-1212, and I do look forward to talking. I do look forward to chatting, or I do look forward to connecting up with you, whatever you feel is right for you. This is a very powerful voicemail, because let's take a look at it. You had requested some information about our company. That means that, hey, you had requested it, so that's why I'm calling. The reason for the call is that I'd like to chat to simply explore some ideas with you. I'm not calling to try to sell you something. I just want to explore some ideas with you. Also, though, to see exactly what you're looking for. Otherwise, I want to know what you're looking for to make sure if this would be something right for you. Or, let's be real. I want to know if you'd be right for us. So let's chat to see how we might be able to connect. Now see, here you're just talking about, I don't know whether this is something that would be right for either one of us, but let's connect simply to chat. Now another one that I dearly loved is one good person. When I was working cold market, and I worked it for almost 6 years, I tell people I'm looking for one person in your city. I'm looking for one good person to help lead a group in your city and state, because I didn't want to have all of these people that I had to worry about in one city. I wanted to put everybody underneath a good solid leader so that way they would know that I was serious about their future, because everyone wants to measure up. And this voicemail message is one that effectively triggers that psychological need. It is a Power Talk classic that we taught for years, and it really does prompt people to check things out and call you back. This one really does tell it like it is. It goes like this. Hi, Orion. My name is Juan, and as I understand it, you had requested that a leader from ABC Company give you a call about what we're doing. Juan, what we are looking for is one good person to work with in your area with whom we can partner and build a large business. You may be that person. We are now holding initial conversations with potential leadership candidates. The possible income potential for this person is amazing. Please give me a call at 555-1212, and let's chat about some ideas and see if there might be a fit here for both of us. Thanks, and I look forward to chatting. Now get this. This one voicemail can truly tell it the way it is. I'm going to do this one more time. It's called One Good Person. Hi, Orion. My name is Juan, and as I understand it, you had requested that a leader, now did you get what I just said? You had requested that a leader from ABC, so you've already established yourself as a leader, from ABC Company give you a call about what we're doing. Juan, what we're looking for is one good person to work with in your area with whom we can partner and build a large business. You may be that person. We don't know. We are now holding initial conversations with potential leadership candidates, and the possible income potential for this person that we work with can be amazing. Please give me a call at 555-1212, and let's chat about some ideas and see if there might be a fit here for both of us. Thanks, and I do look forward to chatting. This one voicemail, if you utilize it right, can establish yourself as a leader. You're saying we're looking for a leader, and I only want to talk to leaders. And that is totally 100% the focus that you should have when you're leaving voicemail messages. Now here's $1 million question. What happens if they answer? You're going, oh my goodness, I got a live one on the telephone. Good question. Many times you're going to actually get the prospect on the phone. and you will have to hold a conversation with them. Now, I found that generally 1 out of every 5 to 7 calls is I got a live voice. Generally, I just left a very strong voicemail, maybe 20, 30 seconds. A lot of times, though, you'll go through a flow that you'll get maybe, the next 3, 4, 5 people, you actually get a live voice on the call. Well, what do you say? Well, there are many great scripts out there, and we had dozens of our own scripts as well about, and especially talking points. Now, what are you talking about, scripts and talking points? We had scripts that we taught our distributors to utilize and even put in their own words, but then we gave them bullet points that then they could hold in front of them on cards so that way they could have it right in front of them. And you may want to consider doing this as well, because talking points help to guide the new distributor through the call. Keep the presentation short, by the way, and do not whatever you do, go past 5 minutes. Longer calls are totally old school network marketing. It's time to step up, guys, to power school networking. Go past that time amount only if they have questions or show intense interest. So you got to understand, they're thinking, can I do this? And the longer time that it takes, they're going to think, I don't have time to do this. The secret of initial brevity is a key secret to massive success in the beginning of a cold market conversation. Keep it short, keep it sweet, and keep it simple. Now, here are a couple of quote-unquote scripts with talking points included to help guide you through a conversation with a cold market prospect. 2 tips. Number 1, be comfortable. And number 2, make it all about them. Remember on CD1, you learned about comfortable, connect, and then construct that bridge of rapport? Be comfortable and make it all about them. The call, by the way, is focused on what they are looking for, not what you are looking for. Here's what the script would sound like. Hi, Lisa. My name is Doug, and you had requested that I give you a call because I'm with ABC Company. Now, as I understand it, and please correct me if I'm wrong, you've been checking out home businesses for yourself. Is that correct? Well, great. I'm calling you simply for one reason, to take a second to learn a little bit about you, tell you a little bit about us, and after that we'll both know if we need to talk any further. Does that sound fair? We both are busy, so this will not take long, as you know what you're looking for and we know who we are looking for. So let's see if there's some possibilities here. This is a very powerful way to talk to people, because you gave them what you call from the very beginning, hi, my name is Doug, and you had requested that I give you a call. I'm with ABC Company, and here's a powerful exit strategy, as it's called. As I understand it, and please correct me if I'm wrong. That's an exit strategy. Otherwise, if I'm wrong, hey, I'm out of here. Please correct me if I'm wrong. You've been checking out home businesses for yourself. Is that correct? Well, if they say, no, I haven't, then at that particular point, you simply say, well, there must be some mistake here. I'm with ABC Company, and no one has called me from your place. Well, no, not really. Well, have you ever considered owning your own home business? Just toss it out there and see what happens. If they say, well, yes, I have, well, great. I'm calling you simply for one reason, to take a second to learn a little bit about you, tell you a little bit about us, and after that, we'll both know if we need to talk any further. Does that sound fair? Now, we both are busy, which is the truth. So this will not take long, because understand here, this will not take long. You have just given them a time frame, something that most people need. So this will not take long, as you know what you are looking for, and we know who we are looking for. So let's see if there's some possibilities here. Now, here are the talking points. Someone requested that I call. As I understand it, checking out home businesses. Learn a little bit about you, learn a little bit about us, and see if there's any reason to pursue it any further. You know what you are looking for. We know who we are looking for. Let's see if there is a match. Those are the talking points, guys, that you can utilize. And you can put them on a 5x7 card and have it right in front of you, or you can have the script right in front of you from the book. But understand something. This is a very powerful way to start opening up a conversation. This is part 1. It's simply the introduction. See, there's basically 3 parts to a cold market, quote-unquote, call. The introduction, then the discovery, then where do we go from here? And see, this is simply part 1, the introduction. Now let's go on to part 2, the discovery. All right, so you have someone on the phone, and you've already gone through the introduction, that which is phase one, part one, step one, whatever you want to call it, is introduction. The next thing you need to do is go through the discovery process. You need to discover what they're looking for and who they are. See, we will often want to find out about people and about information about them on a cold market call, if you will. And we used FORM form for a while, but guys, that is old school network marketing. You know, the insurance industry has been using it probably for 50 years. We ignited Power School Networking and started using something that is much more focused for network marketing and direct sales. We call it FLOSS, F-L-O-S-S. And this is the place that you need to use the 3 C's. Remember, comfortable, connect, and construct. You need to get the prospect comfortable, connect with them in some way with connection phrases, which we're going to go over, and then you construct a bridge of support and information with them by educating them what you do. We use this because it not only got some great information, but also helped us discover whether that they're a fit for us. Floss the prospect and see if you don't have shiny success. The fact that a person called looking for an opportunity shows 2 things generally. Number 1 is dissatisfaction, and number 2, looking and open to something else. You are also looking for people who have 5 other traits: commitment, financial responsibility, stability, experience, and ambition. Those are the 5 traits that we always look for: commitment, financial responsibility, stability, experience, and ambition. FLOSS gives you those 5 things, and it goes like this: FLOSS. F stands for family. Ask about the prospect's family. This is related to commitment. If they've got a family, they're committed to the future. L stands for live. Find out where the prospect lives and see if they're a homeowner. If they're a homeowner, this can show long-term debt and financial responsibility. Not saying if you have an apartment, it doesn't, but if they own a home, it puts them in a whole different league. O in FLOSS stands for occupation. Ask about their job or career choice and the number of years in this job or career. If they've been in it for a long time, this can show stability. If they've been in 5 jobs in 4 years, well, you may want to rethink that. FLOS, the first S in FLOSS, is sales and marketing. Any sales experience. This can demonstrate understanding as well as experience in sales and marketing. And the final S in FLOSS is C. See yourself in 6 months. Find out where the prospect wants to be financially in 6 to 12 months. This demonstrates ambition. And see, guys, if you can create this conversation with people, tell me about your family. Where do you live? Do you own your own home? Great. What do you do for a living? Have you ever been in sales and marketing? Well, just curious, where would you like to see yourself in 6 months? And you can go through the Power Talk Scripts course and learn more about FLOSS and how it works. But I'm telling you right now, it is one of the most powerful ways that you can utilize questions. Now, also, there are other questions as well. You've gone into introduction. Now you're in the discovery process, and you say, I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind, to learn a little bit about you. Just take a second. Family, live, occupation, sales and marketing, and see yourself in 6 months. But here's some other good questions. What kind of home business are you looking for? Why are you looking? I understand that. By the way, do you have a family? Great. I do too. Tell me about them. What are their names? Oh, it sounds like a beautiful family. Well, where do they live? Are you a homeowner? That's great. I have a friend that lives near you, as a matter of fact. Tell me about your home. I own my home as well. What is your occupation? Wow, you know, I have an uncle that does that for a living. Do you do that full time? Do you enjoy it? Just curious, what is your favorite part about what you do? What is your least favorite part? Have you ever been in sales and marketing before? Really? Well, tell me about it. Sounds like you really enjoyed it. If they haven't been in sales and marketing, great. That definitely could work in your favor, as you will not have bad habits you've already developed. I'm curious about something. Where would you like to see yourself financially in, say, 6 to 12 months with this home business? Or say something like this: how much money would you like to see yourself making in 6 months with a home business? Well, great. That is a great goal. A lot of our top earners had that same goal. Now, let me take a second and tell you a little bit about us. Now, what you just did, you just put them in the category of their top earners. And what I encourage you to do psychologically is always do that. That is what our top earners did. That is what a lot of our top earners asked. That's a great question. Go back and listen to this one track over and over and learn how to floss people and learn how to intersperse questions. Because if you master this one idea of floss people, moving from the introduction to a cold market call to the discovery of a cold market call, then finally, where do we go from here? You will be shocked at how much great results you'll get. On this last track of Power Talk Scripts course, what we're going to do is we're going to cover connection phrases, and then we're going to cover getting the decision. You know, there's so much in Power Talk Scripts course that it'd probably take a dozen CDs just to even begin to cover what is in it. I encourage you, though, to take a look at it and do yourself one favor. Find a few really good points, scripts, power talking points, whatever you want to call it, phrases, questions, and master them. Now, what are connection phrases? This is what you do. Remember, you got to get them comfortable, then you got to get them connected, then you got to construct a bridge of rapport. Well, when you get them comfortable, it's very simple. Talk about them, but how do you connect with them? One of the most powerful things you can use are what we call connecting phrases, which connect you to what the prospect is saying. You want them to be thinking, this person is a lot like me. So you can make these connections by listening to what he or she is saying and then relating to those statements. So you may know someone who has the same job that she has, or you may know someone who, lives in the same area or works at the same location. You need to connect with the idea of children, if you've got kids, or maybe faith, if they're the same faith as you, or whatever else you can relate to. The cold market becomes so much warmer when you use connection phrases. Here are some connection phrases. I can relate to that. This shows that you can relate and connect to what was just said, and you have something in common with the prospect. Another one is, I was looking for the same thing. This shows that you've been, at the same place in your life. I understand. Two of the most powerful words you can say to a cold market prospect is, I understand. There is no more powerful way to connect than to understand someone and what they're saying. And by the way, these will work for warm market as well. I totally agree. Agreeing with someone is a powerful psychological connector. I'm right there with you. Let the prospect know you are on the same side as they are. I have children too. This is a great way to connect from a very personal and intimate level. I have kids too. What are your kids' names? I have a friend that does that for a living. If they say that they do this for a living and you do have a friend or aunt or uncle or somebody, this is a powerful connector. I have a friend that does that for a living as well. Here's another powerful connector phrase. You and I seem to be a lot alike. You and I seem to be a lot alike. This one seems to work without fail. You and I seem to share a lot in common. That is a great way to say, I am like you. And by the way, these connection phrases, all you need is one or two, and connect, if you will, with the person on a very personal level, and you're going to be shocked at how well they work. Use connection phrases every single time that you talk with somebody. Remember, in the cold market, it's introduction, where you introduce yourself and why you're calling. Discovery, where you discover about them, and then they discover a little bit about you through whatever system you use. And then the third is, where do we go from here? Well, while you're talking with them and discovering about them, make sure that you connect with them. Finally, I want to go over what we call getting the decision. Now, in Power Talk Scripts course, we don't use the word close. Why? Because the last word in close is lose. And many times distributors, when they don't close somebody, honestly feel like they've lost. What we said is your job is to collect decisions. That is it. Your ultimate job is to collect decisions. We've been teaching that, again, for years and years. We want you to get the decision. And again, I've never liked the term close just for that reason. The last word in close is lose. And besides that, closing is old school network marketing. It's time that you moved up to a new level of power with Power School networking. So you no longer want to close anyone, that is saying, I want something from you. What you want to do is simple. Help the prospect make the decision that is right for them. That is all you do. See, they will appreciate your willingness to want what is best for them, and you will find that their defenses are not anywhere near up where they normally are. Your whole focus should be to help them, not close them. Now, yes, you want to do it in a persuasive way, and if they really could be good for your business, don't get me wrong. Be persuasive and point out that they could be really good at this. But if it's not for them, talk product. You know, there's many different ways to get the decision with people. But one of my favorite is this. Do you see yourself more as a distributor or as a customer? Just curious. Just curious, Lynn, do you see yourself more as a customer or more as a distributor? Just curious, Terry, do you see yourself more as a distributor or more as a customer? That one question closed millions and millions and millions of dollars in volume for our team. And what I would suggest you doing is go through the Power Talk Scripts course and study every single what we call navigators. Because that's what we taught. Getting the decision is using navigators. Navigating people to the decision that is right and is best for them. And you're also going to learn the secret of what we call softeners. How to soften up and take the pressure off. All of these things are in the Power Talk Scripts course. And I would encourage you also to do this. Don't get overwhelmed at all the information. Simply find a few good things that you can connect with in Power Talk Scripts course and then practice it, drill, rehearse, role play it, and master it. And then take maybe 1 or 2 or 3 more after you've mastered those. The reason why is because you want to make sure you're out in front of people practicing, utilizing, and engaging conversation with people versus just learning all that you can. The bottom line is, it's the conversations that you hold right now with prospects that's going to determine your paycheck 30 days from now. Guys, God bless you. I really appreciate you letting us spend some time with you with the Power Talk Scripts course. And what my prayer and hope for you is this, that literally that you explode your volume in business through this Power Talk Scripts course. And also don't forget, we've got Power Talk Scripts course 2, which is the presentation, getting the following up and getting the decision, which is going to be available the end of March, and then Power Talk Scripts course 3, turning the coal market into a gold market, which is going to be available in April 2007. God bless you. My name is Doug Firebaugh. Jody and I just totally are so honored to be spending some time with you and helping you create the success that you want. Because understand, there is a millionaire inside of you. You decide who wins. And Power Talk Scripts course is one of the most powerful ways you can magnetize success to you in your business simply by holding success-soaked conversations. Thank you again. This is Doug and Jody Firebaugh, and God bless you.
Hey all you Dr. Wallach supporters and Longevity fans out there. Most of you at some point will have come up against this Nutra-Smart bashing of Dr. Wallach. There are a few articles that are published specifically to tarnish Dr. Wallach and his message. And I have actually written this whole book. This was a few years ago. I wrote a full-length book in rebuttal to these vicious attacks on Dr. Wallach. I believe every objection that you are going to encounter in the field is addressed in this book. It's absolutely a great resource for you to have as a distributor. And if you do ever have anybody coming up to you saying, I heard what you said about Dr. Wallach and I was going to look into some of his vitamins, but I came up against this article on the internet, Nutra-Smart article is probably the one they read. So it's a great deal, guys. I put it up very cheap. It's just another tool in our toolbox. And the Amazon link is in the description of this video. Make sure to check out our food YouTube channel called Notus Foods. This is 100% Dr. Wallach approved. And the chef that is preparing the food here and teaching you how to follow Dr. Wallach's food guidelines and Dr. Glidden's food guidelines. He's an industry professional, over 22 years experience and a college diploma to back it up. And we do have experienced cooks and bakers as well, working on content for the YouTube channel Notus Foods and the Instagram channel Notus Foods. It's 100% gluten-free, oil-free, all the stuff about burning fats and all of the rules that you would need to know or follow. We're here to teach it to you here, as well as give you tons of ideas for recipes, individual dishes, and meals. Of course, in the near future, we do have a cookbook coming out. Stay tuned for it. And if you'd like to talk to us directly, you can call us. Actually, you can call Judy. She's downriver Detroit. You can call from anywhere in the US, Canada, Mexico, UK, Australia, New Zealand, any other country. You want to email us or send us a DM on whatever app that you want to contact us on. Instagram is super convenient for us. And that's for any sales or product information in those countries. or any distributor information.